Hey, welcome to Lady Cadence Island. Today we're going to talk borders and edging with plants and especially how to make the most of flower count in those specific spaces. Now you'll see on my island, first of all, yay team, because we actually got Sherlock during this last detective league, which is awesome. And we're not even a competitive team. Honestly, we just started this team. This was our very first detective league. And the reason we got Sherlock, because no competitions are required at all, ever, or side events, is that everybody on the team likes club mysteries, and we were able to accomplish that. So anyway, so I have those two beside my orchid island, and they are worth no flowers, of course, but you can get diamonds from them. However, I plan on just keeping these two only. I did dig up my third one for diamonds. So those two are on the side of my orchid island. The rest I will harvest if we get Sherlock again. And I also have these beautiful hydrangeas right here at the entrance. And they, of course, are also not worth any flowers. So that's why I wanted to make this video, to show how you can still keep your flower count up while having pretty borders and edging of flowers, specifically if you're going to use gift bushes. Now I have decided I would like to keep my spear grass and use that as an edging to store up spear grass for Detective League, but I don't like to do a giant field of it, as I sometimes see, so I was thinking of ways to get around that. You'll also note that last time I showed you how I replaced a lot of these pink bougainvillea bushes with these planters. Now that's the first way, is just replacing low count bushes with higher, of course, because these are 50 a piece versus the 5 a piece on here. So I already showed you that. I just wanted to remind you how it used to be on here before, and that was to have these bougainvilleas with 3 of the other bushes in between, 2 soiree bushes and then the yellow ones right in the middle. So as a reminder, these by themselves make those little yellow planters, but when you combine them, they make a really pretty border. Now I do want to keep those in some spaces, but not here. See, now here you see the combination of that. So replacing the pink bougainvillea bushes with those planters. And then up here is what I plan to eventually do, and that is to have a place for speargrass. Now this is what I've already collected. We have a bush rotation on our team that does 3 speargrass daily, plus 3 other bushes. So I'm already getting 3 of these a day, so I wanted to save them up. Now I'm going to do that down here as well. However, I don't want to lose a lot of flower count, so let me show you what I will be doing. Let's first replace these, and I'm not going to sell them. I'll store them in case I want to use them elsewhere. So we'll take those up first and go ahead and put our planters in here, and we'll put one more there, and then we're going to take these up as well. However, I don't want to have only speargrass in between, and I also wanted to make sure my flower count is not too low with only speargrass, because again, gift bushes don't give you any flowers. So instead I'm going to go with lupines in the middle, because those are worth 40 a piece. So even though I'm going to plan to fill in the rest of the space with the speargrass bushes, I've got these beautiful lupines here to make up the difference. So now what I just had, it would have only been 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, plus 1 apiece for each of those other ones. So 6, 7, 8, 9. It would have been still about 30, not even 35 total flowers for that whole section. Now, this of course is going to be the same as when I do fill in with speargrass. I've got these which are worth 40 a piece, and these of course which are worth 50 a piece. Alone, just one of these alone is worth more than I had in that whole section of border. And that allows me to add in those gift bushes without taking away my flower count. Do you see that, how that helps? Now up here I have kind of similar things going on. I've got lupines here. I have this clock tower that's 75. These trees in here are worth far more. That's 70. And of course, then I can make use of these beautiful gift bushes, which are worth nothing because I'm surrounding them with higher value things. Again, same thing up here. I've got gift bushes, but then on either side, I've got 120 flower count trees. So that really helps to balance out the flower count so you can have a beautiful design while still having a good amount of flowers that's helping you build up. So that's what I'm going to do with this section here. Fill that all in with spear grass, and then that way I'm saving it. And because, as I said, we're giving this daily, I'm able, within a few days, I'll have this all full, and then I can harvest it as I need to if I want to do it all at one time, if it looks like we're getting close and we just need to be pushed over the edge as far as getting promoted to get blue ribbons. So that is my idea. So here again, you see that combination. Now I'm probably going to also do the same thing up here. Now this is going to be losing losing flowers, but as I get new ones, I'll just replace it one at a time, and it won't be as big of a loss. I am hiding though those right behind where you can't see it, and that way my gift bushes you can always see really clearly to harvest those when I need them. But I wanted a way to be able to store those speargrass bushes and save them, but again, not have like a giant field of them, and instead use them as a nice beautiful edging or a border instead of like just a big, again, block of them all at once. And I've shown you a couple spotlight videos where people have really creatively displayed their saved bushes, because a lot of people save both marmalade and speargrass and sometimes other bushes as well, and they make pretty patterns out of them and do other cool things. So this is just another way that you can save those bushes but still not lose out too much on flower count. So again, you see here you've got my little 1 flower count bushes here, 0 for gift bushes, but then it's combined with those planters, which are 50 a piece. So that really does make a difference. Now, of course, we've also got walls that works with too, these studio walls, and these fences here. That's another way. I mean, they're 40 a piece, so that really helps. The same with these fencing here, that's 30 a piece, so that's not bad. Same with the picket fence up above. And I also want to show you up here remember I've shown you how I really want to make use of those beautiful gift bushes in a special way and highlighting those. So I have a ton up here. Again, they're worth 0 flowers, but I am surrounding them with other higher flower count items, which does help to balance things out. And the biggest part of that would be these greenhouses, because they're worth 2,400 flowers a piece for those two. Plus I've got my fire truck right here, which is also worth 2,400. So that makes a huge difference to be able to have space for these items that don't take up or don't give any flower count rather. But I just think it's so pretty, and I want to have a beautiful island and not just worry about flower count only. And these lupines really help me to do that. Spreading those out, these trees that are worth a lot more, that helps me to do that. Excuse me, that helps me to do that. Let's go over to marigold, and I'm going to show you some other things that can help you make the most use of your space. All right, now if you remember, I used to have the fairground all kind of as the focal point. I changed that because I really wanted to make all these buildings from the Venice set, as well as I've got the hospital and some things from the Halloween set as well tucked in here, just to make a really big, kind of like a big hotel resort area. This is a fall inspired island, and those buildings really work well, but because they're big and especially combined, they really need to be the focal point, I feel like. And there's a lot of focal points on this island. I mean, it is fall inspired, so we're going to have all those November items, any of those fall themed type decorations. Plus, I'm pretending like it's Halloween weekend over here and everyone's out trick-or-treating, so you've got those fun decorations as well as the November set items from the water. And then again, these both Venice and Halloween and some other buildings combined just to give it more flair. Now, as I was mentioning, I'm going to talk about the fencing or border idea. Now, I've done the same thing here. I've got these 5 flower count bushes surrounded by the beautiful 50 flower count planters, so that makes a really, really big difference in your flower count. And then also on the sides here, I've got these planters as well. They're fences. Now remember, these are when you combine them, they create a fence, but when they're by themselves, they make these gorgeous planters, and they're worth 40 a piece. So not only do I have these walls that are worth 60 a piece, super nice to have for a single space thing, but then you've also got these kind of bordering them as well, just to give some added interest. Plus they're more expensive. Now for now, I only have these bougainvilleas again, but I'm going to replace those out with some lupines instead. They're really gorgeous. Plus, again, they're 40 a piece. So 40 instead of 5 really makes a big difference. Now, please ignore my flower count at the top because I've taken up a lot of stuff. It's going to be off right now because of that. Now, I've got these buildings. These are also 30 a piece, these little puppy patches. So that works really nicely. I am using the low count ones here, but I can get away with that because of using higher flower count ones surrounding it. Now, there's also another bougainvillea here. I can put those lupines there as well and just surround that whole area with the lupines, and that makes such a big difference. Now, I don't have these built yet. I need to get some more coins to actually do this, but I wanted to show you what that would look like when it is finished. And isn't that beautiful? It's still really pretty. It makes a nice border or edging around it. And you've got a lot of flowers. So right in this little 2 square area, you've got, so 60 plus 60 is 120, and then plus 40 is 80. So that's 200 flower square right there. Instead of, if you had just plain grass, it would only be the 120. Or, of course, if you had those 5 flower count ones, it would only be 125 plus maybe 126 with the other flower beside it for the actual square, you know, like a 2 square section. But that makes a big difference when you're trying to save some space and still give yourself some free space, because I want grass in between, and that's of course only 1 flower each, but you've got to have some space to be able to breathe and see what's actually going on. So having these borders really helps. And then to kind of finish off the corners with trees that are worth more actually helps a ton too. And if you'll remember those the 1 trees that I used in the orchid, those were 120 a piece, which are awesome. So whenever you can find higher flower count ones, of course, it's better. And I might even replace those eventually with more of the yellow ones if they give us more, because those are worth 120 as well. And those would be nice to replace those with if I had enough to border them. So I'm always looking for ways to replace lower flower count items with higher, but I love what that does for you though. It just makes it look so inviting to have like that double border going on. Plus you've got your green grass and the pathways leading you all over the place, and a nice little focal point in the center. And of course these walls, which are worth 60 a piece, are awesome. Or yeah, 60 a piece are really, really helpful to your flower count. So I hope that helps you think of how you can make the most use of borders and fencing, and especially flowers and plants in your design of June's Journey. Let's take a look at the actual shop, and I'll show you the different options available. All right, now I'm back on Orchid Island. Now you see I've gone ahead and put these bougainvilleas back just for now until I get those bushes in, and I'll replace them one at a time so it doesn't make as much of a dent on my flower count. I'm only actually a couple scenes away from opening up a new space on Marigold, so I want to keep these there just for now until I can get that opened, and I will be getting a large decoration. I'm going to pop over onto Marigold. That's worth $4.50 plus. I'm going to be getting flowers from this. It's my level 19, so that's $2.65. So that will help me just get those next 2 levels that I need scenes so I can open up a whole new section on Marigold. Now let's quickly take a look at the shop here. You want to go to the very first category that looks like tiles, because these are the connecting decorations that connect to either make roads or borders or just different edging. So you've of course got your pathways here and fencing. Pasture fence I don't use much of. I have just a few because again they're only worth 3 a piece, so not worth as much. I do love the picket fence. It's gorgeous, perfect for Orchid Town. Really beautiful. The flowering mural that goes with the India set, but I use it with the German set. I use it with Venice set, and I've got it right now on Orchid where you've seen with that beautiful garden area. Studio wall I like to put with the the pool, the bathhouse, because it just looks like a nice wall that you would see around a hotel building. And then of course this beautiful stone meadow. Now that's going to be perfect for the upcoming alpine set. Love it, and it's worth $50 a piece, so that's great. Now I have my alpine set over on Laurel Island, and I'm going to be making more space for it over there, as well as possibly some other spots for it. This one, as I showed you, was $60 a piece, this Watchful Gargoyle. It works so beautifully for either Halloween or just fall in general, like I have on Marigold. I'm combining those two themes or ideas together to make one fun, just fall-inspired island. But having that 60 flowers a piece is really awesome. I obviously love the sidewalk blooms. Now these, of course, only go one direction, and they show you that. They show you the 3, so it shows you how it connects. This is that flowering fence I was telling you about. I use it both as the fence and as individual planters, and they're really beautiful and work really nicely. Of course, then you've got your frozen things as well. Now these are the flowers I was telling you about. You've got your yellow flowers, which make really pretty planters all by themselves and like borders. But when you combine those with these soiree plants, they really make some beautiful combinations, and I just can't help myself. I always like to do that, combine those. I'll show you one more place I've combined those, but in order to do that, you really do need to make use of the higher flower count items, so that it's worth your while to use those lower flower count ones. And of course, those are the other items. That's your canal water. It looks like a swimming pool to me, and that's usually what I use it for. Or I like to use it around the fountain, the Hanging Gardens building, or not building, but it's the coin producing decoration, because it looks like it's part of the fountain, so it works well for a pool or a fountain. Or you can use it for a canal, although I hide my canal from my Venice set because I just don't care for that look. So there are those items all in the store here, which make really nice borders. I do love the waterfall columns as well. It's also gorgeous. They make individual palm trees if you get them by themselves, which is also super nice. Let's head over real quick to Sunflower just to remind you of that. Primrose fence, this is a different type of fence. It's pretty, however, I feel like it's bulky compared to some of the other decorations, so I don't tend to use it. Also, it is only worth 3 flowers. This will also make an individual little yellow tree if you use it by itself, and I do have those scattered throughout. Now, as a reminder, this is my Louisiana and Mexico set combined. Love it. And I did incorporate some items from the Venice set as well. Now here in the center, I've got this whole little center courtyard area, and I'm making use of that fence. As you can see, when it's done in 3s, it creates the fence. The planters from Botanical Bliss, which are worth $75. And these planters, whenever you have a planter from a seasonal set, you want to get as many as possible. This was from Botanical Bliss last year as well, worth $110 a piece, which is great for a border or an edging. And that's why you can get away with using these little single flower count ones on the side when you've got higher flower count ones surrounding it. Again, same with these planters are 50 and these are 30, so that's still much higher, and I have kind of bordered those here, alternating them. So that's another way to create your little flowering fence or borders, edging, whatever you like to call it, and combine several things together to create that really pretty border, and just give you a nice symmetrical look to separate out your island in different sections or zones. I love to create little borders and walls, if you will, for the design. So again, hope that helps you think about some options that you can use and how you can create your own borders and plant edging, but also boost up your flower count. Thanks so much for watching.